interpretation of the happiness may be a little bit different, but at the bottom line, everyone want to be happy. Every single people do actions, big project, small project, big goal, small goal, whatever. And the purpose is they want to be happy. So, but how many people are happy from the beginning to the end of life? Do we have any examples? Obviously not. So that is a very big question mark for everybody. So if we do same thing everybody do for happiness, like centuries, if we do the same thing, very similar thing, and then I think we are not that smart, because so many centuries people doing everything similar, like everybody's idea, one day I have a perfect position, one day I have perfect family, one day I have everything, something, or not necessarily, maybe everybody think perfect, but better. Always there's something better, which means you already competing. That's the problem. So if we want to be really happy, what we have to do is we have to have the perspective as much as possible unconditional. If we make our happiness very conditional, or if I do this, if I achieve this, then I'm better position, then already the foundation is wrong. That's I would say. So what we have to do, we try to build our happiness without condition. Whatever situation, I will be okay. Or you can think of, there's no really such thing black and white, okay or not okay, good or bad, better or worse, is ultimately just really same. So Buddha described our life as nature suffering. He didn't describe as happiness. But we have expectation for happier, better, we have that idea. That's fundamentally is wrong. That's the problem. Okay, if that in that case, if somebody think, that means nobody never happy, do you mean that? That's very pessimistic. No, the answer is, if you seek for happiness with conditions, you get less happiness. But if we have this perspective and attitude, we don't expect too much, also we don't compare too much for our happiness. That means you have more chance to be happy. But you cannot expect happy forever from the beginning to end, or one day much better. It doesn't work. So that's I would say. One other big question, people always thinking something temporary and limited. That's the problem. For instance, what we do. What do we think limited? We have life and death. This is equal, equal. We don't know how long we live, and when I die, we don't know. Nobody know. But we don't have much plans for death. We have only, life insurance or something like that. After you die, what are you going to do your body? That's all we plan have. So that's not good enough. If we have deep wisdom, the death is something not we are afraid. It's something is great opportunity refining ourselves or rediscovering our truth. It's something incredible transition. if you know how to use. But no, how many people on this planet have that realization or that great plan? Almost zero, almost. So why? Because we always thinking everything is temporary, everything is limited. That's the problem. If we have from the beginning have a big picture, every day we have this kind of attitude, oh, I could be died tonight, tomorrow. Like if this idea, and then you appreciate every moment. We have plenty happiness, but we don't notice it because we are too distracted, and we always think in the next better one. I think that's the fundamental problem. And then other big problem, we think money do everything. If I have plenty money, I can do this, I can do this. Yes, you can do many things if you have plenty money, and then if you didn't die, okay? If you didn't die with chunk of money, and you have chunk of money, and then you didn't die, sure, you can do many things. Other people can't do things, have no money. But is that make you happy? No guarantee at all, okay? Even especially if we have like better or perfect life or incredible life, looks like incredible life, like queen's life, these things, like looks impressive. But if you have machine to measure this perfect life, we can see it looks like perfect. This person's mind measure their happiness, and then these other people, we think it's a terrible life, and if we measure their mind, if we test it, no guarantee at all. Why? Do you know why? Because that we have incredible attachment, and it's that everybody have attachment. But who has more attachment, who has so-called success and so-called, better life, so-called, how do you say, so-called, rich, so-called, high position, famous. This, it look like is an incredible life. Do they have? It looks like. They have more greater attachment, So that's why is when you have big kind of life, big position, everything is big, your attachment is much bigger. And that means your fear to losing them also much bigger, and that means you incredibly dependent on this fear and insecurity, and also then you competing somebody else, okay? Also, they have worse life. Why? Because kind of like you push to the wall, when we have limited things, or if we have this and I have this condition, this money, wealth, this family, if we have somewhere we have inspire, we have inspiration, we have enthusiastic to get this, and and then our discipline and everything build together. So that time you have a better life. Why? Because you have direction. That time you have direction. your direction is not necessarily forever, but that time you have direction, and so you really is determined to get this, and you have no really time to unhappy, because your life is building with this incredible enthusiastic and to get this, and and determination. And so you have no much to time to die, unhappy. But, so-called perfect life, perfect rich. These people, you know, like, these people went already there and knocked the door. And so the human, unfortunately, this human life, we cannot have limitless happiness, you know. Doesn't matter how much you God possession, doesn't matter. Our limit doesn't let you limitless happiness. You just always limit. Just think of, you know, our stomach never become bigger than, you know, like when we are rich. You know, we can eat just when we are poor. We can eat only that much. Doesn't matter how much money you have. At the same time, comfort, everything, we can't do much. There's a limitation. And then you knock this limitation and you reach this wall, and then you can't go any further. Then you become unhappiness, you know. But who's not reaching there, and they still has kind of like target, kind of goal, and that's why on the way they're not necessarily extremely happy, but they're not extremely unhappy either. But unhappiness, when you get there, that time you get, it's strange, isn't it?